Vasuki from first year English department. Today I'm going to discussing about the interview and interview styles and techniques. So what's the meaning of interview? Interview is a common word because nowadays we have to know about the interview. Two persons are discussing something about that interview person's details. That is called the interview. It's a normal one. So what's the meaning? The word interview comes from Latin and Middle French word meaning to see between or see each other. Already I told you it's a two persons gathered in some informations and discussing about something in that time. That is called the interview. It's a Latin and Middle French word, and generally interview means a private meeting between the people when questions are asked and answered. It's a normal thing. It's a private meeting. It's like the two people are ask the questions. Interviewer asks some questions and the interview also answer the questions. Then interview, a meeting with the objectives. Employer's objective is to find the best person for the job. So the employees are qualified or not. This is an essential part of interview. So the employer reviews and candidates' experience and ability also checked. First one is, can you do the job? It means they check your skills, ability and qualifications, and then they target about their interest, attitude and motivations, and finally they particularly point out the personality of that persons in that interview. So this is a essential part of the interview. Then facts of interview. What's the fact? Interviews are the most widely used process for screening job applicants. So it's an essential one for all because we are all studying and then we plan to go into the job. So before joining the job, we have to face some interview. It's a skill checking one, so that every job applicants face that interview. So they provide the most direct information about the candidate's background, personality and skills. And the second fact is, the organizations or the institutions gather the information directly about the candidate's background, personality, studies, careers, interest and whatever it is. And that one is, the purpose of an interview is to receive the job offer. And final one, we have to receive the job offer from the organizations or institutions. Then move to the third, know yourself. This is an important role in all interviews. The first one is employment objective and how it relate to the position and the employer. So first thing is, this position is relevant for this employer. This is a first question for all the interview persons. And the second one is educational background and how it related to the position and the employer. And the secondary part, we have to focus of our educational, then working experience and ability and skills. So these four skills are important to know ourselves to attending the interview. Before attending the interview, we have to focus the four things. Then no to the employer. Research. First of all, we have to research ourselves, and then only we have to research to that company or institution, organization, whatever it is. First we have to research something in our work, then prepare to demonstrate your knowledge of the profession and the company. So before attending an interview, we have to discussing something and gather the information from our friends, colleagues, seniors, but whatever it is, just we have to gather anything from that company. Then prepare to give reason for your interest in working in that profession or company. This is an important one, because the interview person, I mean an employer asked something, what is the interest, this is my interest, that's why I'm working in that place. It's a normal question, but it's also inspire the company, I mean HR or a manager, whatever it is, they are inspired from your words, not a physical. Then develop questions in advance to ask about the job and organizations. So first of all, we know about that question, so what they are asked from me. So and finally we have to analyze something about the developing questions of the advanced job and organizations. Then how to make an interview or how to prepare an interview. So first one, situation knowledge. So situational knowledge. First of all, the interviewer asks the questions about the interviewee. Definitely they ask a lot of questions, mostly they take 10 minutes. So first one is the situational knowledge, it's depend upon your minds. Then physical preparations, get plenty of rest, dress for success. So first one is, we all know about that, before attending an interview we have to plan something. If for example, if you take girls, definitely they wear cotton dresses and neat stitches and free hairs and make and good certificate presentations, whatever it is, they have to follow something in your dress code and personality. So this is a physical preparations. Then mental preparations, it depend upon the knowledge. So depend upon the knowledge means, first thing the company think about, if you are selected, they ask, they check your knowledge if you are eligible for this question. So first thing, and second one is practice a mock interview. So before attending an interview, definitely we practice in ourselves, or a practice to the another person, or a practice with your friends. This is a normal thing. Then written preparation, take extra resumes, reference, etc. So first one is resume. Already we applied the job, so our resume also have that company, but it's not a good one. Sometimes the HR or a manager asks, what about your resume? So definitely we give the another resume. So this is a normal thing. Then make notes. Third one is an ask question. This is an interview preparation for all. So we have to focus about the 4 kinds: situational, physical, mental and the written preparations. These 4 preparations are essentials to make a good interview for all companies. Then preparation is a key to success. So preparation is always, we know about, it's a successful word. So before attending anything we have to prepare it, because we are not experienced in all the field. So that's why we prepare something in that field. So first one is review own skills, experiences and qualities. So first one is, first of all, I know about my skill, experience and qualities. And then check CV. Sometimes we have to commit mistake in our CV, so you have to check in all the time before given to that person. Then anticipate questions and identify relevant examples. So anticipated question and identify relevant example means, sometimes the person asks a lot of questions, so you have to answer all the thing. Don't fear about that. If you are tell about the informations, otherwise just normal to quit. Then prepare key skill selling points. So prepare key selling points. We know about that company and what the questions they ask. For example, in our social media, I think YouTube is a good example to prepare our interviews. So this is a keynote to success. Then research organization. Research organizations means websites, reports, articles, company literature, etc. First of all, we have to check about the company. Just we go to the Google and research that company and type the company name and research about that. We get the more information from the websites, reports, articles, and etc. Then contact with knowledge of organization or the sector. Relevant articles in the press, personal visit or a telephone call. So this is about the research organizations. First of all, we have to focus about that company. We have to get the more information from the internet. Then research jobs and occupational area. Job description. So what kind of job you have to apply, they asked. Definitely we give the informations. I am applying for this job. For example, I am a manager, so that's why I am applying this job. So first of all, you know about what the type of job you have to apply in that company. Then current issues. Why are you resigning this job? This is a normal question for every interviews they asked, because they get more informations about you. That's why they ask. So we know the current issues. Then prepare your questions. So the first of all, if you are interviewed, definitely you prepare a lot of questions, and then the candidates also answer the questions. So and then practice. First, I am asked myself. This is my questions. I am asked to the candidates. This type of points are essentials to make the candidates and the employees. Types of interview. What are the types? First one is a traditional interview or a basic interview, and the second one is telephonic interview. Third one is group interview. Fourth one is interview during a meal or a social occasion, and fourth one is serial interview. So basic and traditional interview means two persons are ask something or interview something about that candidates, and second one is telephonic interview. This is a quite normal for day-to-day life, because some organizations or institutions are making a call to the candidate and ask about something and get the information from the telephone. This is a normal one for day-to-day life. So telephonic interview is not the biggest thing in the world. Then group interview. Group interviews, it's like a group discussions. A group of persons are sitting in some places, and one interviewer come and ask a lot of questions and get the more information from that people, and then only they finalized. They won't finalize it. These candidates are selected for our company. So this is the group discussion, group interview. Sorry. Then interview during a meal or a social occasions. It's an unofficial one, but nowadays it's a normal thing, because some persons come and ask the questions about the candidate for meal time, tea time, whatever it is. This is a normal for day-to-day life. Then serial interview. Serial interview is also the same kind. So these types of interviews are followed in every organizations. Then 5 stages interview process. What are the 5 stages? First one is icebreaker. So icebreaker, greeting, first impression, small talk. So icebreaker means first of all they target about your physical appearance and how to respond to the higher persons. So first one is greetings. First of all we go to the place and say and give some greetings like a good morning, good afternoon, hello sir, how are you? These kinds of words are. Then first impressions. So first impressions is it depends upon our physical appearance and the speech also. And then small talk. So our speech is very good and clear, because the first impressions give the all. So that's why we talk about the icebreaker. Then personal qualification and interest in position. So personal qualification is ability, skill and working experience. I have a good ability, I have to work all the thing. These skills are I have. I'm a good teacher, I'm a good class advisor. So these kinds of skills, and I'm also working in Excel and computers. Whatever it is, whatever you have in yourself, you have to open to the interviewers. Then working experience is normal. If you are a fresher, you have to make, I am a fresher, this is my first job. It's a normal thing. And working experience means working, I have 4 or 5 years experience in organizations. So these kinds of. Then accomplishment and activities. So which type of activities you have? I'm a emotional type, I'm a good person, I'm a kind-hearted person. So these kinds of activities. And and then some persons are a sports person or a volleyball player, whatever it is. These kinds of works are also including that in that questions. Then goals. What's your goal? This is my goal, ma'am. Teaching is my goal. That's why I am choosing this job. So these types are including the personal qualification and interest of the question. Then third one is organization and position. So employer may test your knowledge of the company. This is a quick normal for all the organizations for interview process. So definitely the employer tests your knowledge of the company. So would you want to work for this why do you want to work for this company? Would you know about this department? It's a normal question for all the interview persons ask the candidates. Then other general question regarding the company or the job. So what's your geographical preference? Are you willing to relocate? So sometimes the company or company in Chennai, but we are in Tirunelveli. So definitely they ask, are you willing to relocate to work in this place? So normally we said, yeah, it's a normal thing. Definitely I come to this place. I'm working with you. It's a normal questions. Then fourth one is candidate questions. Your chance to ask question about the job. So this is an important role for the candidates because they give the chance for the candidates ask questions, right? So first one, what type of on the job training do you provide? What make your company different from its competitor? What the first question is, what type of on the job training do you provide? So first of all, the candidate asks the interview or a HR or a manager, whatever it is, they ask what type of the job training you have to provide. Because if you provide something, I already know about that. So that's why the candidate asks that question, right? And final one is clues and follow up. Find out who make next move. Thank the interview for your time. Evaluate your performance. Send a thank note within 24 hours. So close and follow up is find out first thing is what the next and thank for your time to spend me. And third one is evaluate your performance. Definitely the interview or the company managers evaluate your performance and then only they also give the thank note for within 24 hours. This is a basic thing for interview process. So these 5 kinds of process are happening in every interview in organizations. This is a good one because it's a star technique. What is star? We all know about these stars. Stars are in the high. So first one is situation. Situation, describe the situation. Problems or issue that you encounter. So situation, what the situation you have? I am so depressed. I am really happy about that situation. So these kinds of works are happen in that places, and how can we tolerate and solve the problem of this issue? So this is an essential one for STAR technique. Then second one is task. Describe the task or responsibilities you took on to help solve the problem. Task, we already have a problem, so how to help to the solve the problem? This is a responsibility for all the candidates. Then action, Discuss the steps you actually took to affect a solution. Action. First of all, what the situation we have, we already know about that, and what task we plan to responsible for the people, we also know that the task, and finally we make the action. How to give the action, discuss about these steps and what you have to set in your mind and proceed in that solution. Then results. Describe the positive result of your action. Finally, we give the positive result of that person. So these STAR techniques are used in every company's organizations. For example, the company, the manager or a HR asks how to solve the problem. This is a normal question, but we have to answer. I have to use the STAR techniques: situation, task, action, and result. This is a techniques to achieve that. This is a STAR technique to solve the problem. Then tips for successful interviewing. What are the tips? Interviewing is a two-way process. We know that. Never give yes or no questions. It's not a one-way process. Listen carefully and react. So in every minute, the candidates listen careful from the HR words and react to these words. Use specific examples to make your cases. So use specific examples. Sometimes the HR or a manager asks something about that. Definitely we give the example about that case. So we don't hesitate to give that answer. The interview begins the minutes you step on to the company lot. So the first of all, the interviewer asks the interviewee, what's the beginning you know about that company? Yeah, definitely I know about the company, but it's a little bit, we said. So this is a positive thing to make an interview successful. So don't make a negative thought in your mind first of all. This is a sixth point of successful interviewing. Then think like an employer. I am an employer of this company, that's why I am come this place. So first of all, you have to set in your mind. Don't criticize past employers or co-workers. So for example, the interview person asks, why are you leaving that past job? So definitely we said, I am not working in that employers because they are very lazy. They give all the burden for me. That's why I have to leave that place. So these kinds of criticizings they are not expected in the interview. So you have to forget and don't criticize the past employers. Be aware of illegal questions. So first of all, we give the more importance to the awareness of the illegal questions. Please avoid it. Then maintain professionalism even if the employer does not. So first of all, you have to make the professionalism, and then when the employer doesn't. If you are attending an interview, we must follow that. Be prepared for the unexpected. Be aware the body language. Be well groomed. So first thing is prepare unexpected questions. They ask a lot of questions where it is from beyond. We don't know that they ask something. So we have to answer that questions and be aware of body language. So our body language is also speak. So be aware of our body language. Be well groomed. Okay. First impressions. Watch the body language. How to watch the body language? First one is first impressions very powerful. First impression is really very powerful. Then second one, allow time to relax. Dress appropriately. Entrance, introduction and handshake. Smile and make eye contact. Be aware of own movement. Watch body language of the interviewer. So first thing is first impression is very powerful. We already know. First impressions make all the thing. So body language is also speak. So first thing we have to focus about our impression, and second one, time to relax. And dress code. Dress code is essentials to make the body language superb. So dress code is appropriate and handshake, eye contact, smile. So these kinds of small things are express your thoughts. So that's why we focused about the body language. Typical questions. Doubt. Tell me about yourself. This is a normal thing. It's a formal questions for all the interviewers. Why did you choose that particular degree or a program? Because I like this. That's why I chose that degree. This is a normal questions. That experience have you had that is relevant to this post? Yes. Then what would you consider your major achievement to date? So what's your major achievement? So these kinds of questions are a typical question and a normal. I think it's not a typical question. It's a formal question for the interview. Matching skills to requirement. Employer need your evidence. So first one is, if you are working in a HR or a manager in the organizations, definitely you are an employer, you need something. First one is communications. So if you are working in any places, they asked you have a good communication skill. That is an essential part to make that question. So first one is, then teamwork, then leadership. You have a leadership quality? Yes, I know, right. Then initiative, customer care, IT, commercial awareness. So these kinds of works are the employer need. Your evidence, presentations to class. Example from good class rep committee, fundraising for charity, working in Supergun, design website, business pages. So this is our evidence. So I have also divulged in what you have to ask. This is a good one to record. This is a matching skill for requirement. So our answer is, listen carefully, seek clarification, illustrate answer with the real examples and evidence. So I have the good quality, definitely I will give my evidence. So that is the second thing. These are all the considered to be big. This is a good answer for this session. Then quality employers seek good all-round intelligent enthusiasm quality. So the employers have a all-rounder. Simply they ask, you are all-rounder, right? This is a first question. Then enthusiasm, commitment and motivations. Good communication skills. Definitely the employers have good communication skills. Teamwork ability. We are gathering and get the information and share the information. That is the teamwork. Ability to solve the problem. Third, capacity to work hard, initiate and self-reliance, balanced personality. So these qualities are have the employers in the places. Competencies requires by company. Adaptability, integrity, innovation, teamwork, initiative, drive for results, know the business, open exchange of informations, makes difficult decisions. So what are the competencies required by the company? Definitely the company persons ask what you are and what are the qualities you have. This is an essential to work in every places. So definitely they focused about the adaptability, innovative, teamwork, results and how to solve the problem. So this is the four things are make competence to the place. Then what creates a bad impressions? What creates poor personal appearance? Poor personal appearance also give the bad impressions to that person. Negative attitude. Negative attitude means don't reflect your fairness. It's also give the negative attitude. Second, third one, lack of interest and enthusiasm. So lack of interest. I'm not ready to work in that place. This is a they are focusing. My parents or my friends are forced. That's why I'm not attending the interview. So that lack of interest is not a good one. So it's created bad impressions. Then lack of preparations. First of all, I am not ready to attending the interview. I am not ready. So how can I prepare? So lack of preparations also give the bad impression. Poor knowledge of the role. I know about what I have done. So I'm not ready to prepare anything. So definitely I don't have any knowledge about that role. Failure to give concrete examples of the skills. So definitely I'm not prepare anything. I'm not get a knowledge from that role. So definitely I'm a failure. Then overemphasis on money and rewards. First thing, I am not working. I am not give the adaptability, and then I am asked, what about my salary? So I am not target about my money. First of all, I am target about what the skill I have, and then only ask. Then lack of career plan. I am not ready anything. So definitely it give the bad impressions to that person. After the interview, so first of all, before attending the interview, we have to focus all the thing, and after the interview we followed something. Review your own performance. So what went well, what went badly, what you wished you had said, prepared for next stages. First one is review our own performance. So first of all, I have to analyze myself after the interview. That is the thing. What went well, what went badly, what you wished you had to set, prepare for the next day. So these kinds of mistakes are happening in that time. Definitely I rectified that problem and then move to the next. This is a good one to review our own performance. Invitations to second or a final round of the interview. Assessment center. If you are attending the interview, so the final round is ready for you. So you have to focus. This first one is assessment centers. Psychometric testing, panel interview. So you have the 3 rounds. So we have to give more important to the 3 kinds. Then rejection letter or emails. If you can request feedback usage. Sometimes if you are rejected in that company or a mail, definitely you ask the feedback. What kind of mistakes I have done in that time. So please give that in feedback. So this is a good one to this is a good one for after the interview. We have to analyze ourselves, because this is a good one. That's why we have to then telephone interviews. Prepare as thoroughly as for real interview. So prepare thoroughly for real interview. It's a real one, not a real one. Then select comfortable, private and quiet place. So most of the, for example, we are in a COVID time, we have to make all the interviews, vivas, meetings or attending in a telephonic or internet. So this is a private place. So we have to make a private place for telephonic interview, and quiet places also. Have a copy of CV and company information. Definitely we have some copies about our CV and pen or paper at hand. So before attending the interview, we have to take our pen or paper, just note it down in that paper. That's why we have to prepare. Then prepare for usual interview question. Usual interview questions tell about yourself, what's your skill, what's your experience. These kinds of questions are asked in that interview time. So definitely we have to prepare that. Then practice on phone. Record answers, try standing, smile and use gesture, avoid monotones. So first of all, record answers. Or we have to mention answer all the questions for that telephone interviews. Then be yourself. I know how can I speak to the telephone. First of all, we have to prepare in that time. Other types of interview. Routine, like 1-to-1 with different interviewers. It's called the rotating interview. So first of all, I ask questions to that person, and at the same time that person's also ask question for me. So this is a rotating one. Then group, 6 to 8 candidates are there. Group observed while discussing the topic. Be aware of the group interactions. So these group interactions are happening in the group discussions. It's like that. So if you are attending the group discussions, 6 to 8 candidates are enough to make that. They are discussing something about that interview. They have to give the information about the positive and the negative role, and then be aware of the interactions. Don't make a fight to the another persons. That is a important one. Then panel. 2 to 5 interviewers or as many as a 13. Try to identify different roles. Respond to the interviews. Include other through eye contact. May involve presentations. So panels. If you are attending the interview panel have a 2 to 3 interviewers. They have to identify your roles. So they ask questions from one by one, and then we have to give the answer, and eye contact is essentials to give that answer. So the interviewers focus all the thing. So it's a panel one is an other type of interview. So before the interview, research the potential employers. So we all know about the organizations, and we also know about the employers. Then review the job description. Review the job description and be able to match your experience and educations with the duty of that position. Prepare a 1 or 2 minute script about yourself. Make sure you have the appropriate interview attire. So first thing, what the job we have to apply and what are the experience we have, and then we make a video or a script about ourselves. This is a 1 or 2 minutes is enough to enough. So before the interview we have to focus the 3 things. Tips regarding attire. If possible, wear a shoe out to the interview. Belt and shoes. This is for male candidates. Focused about the dress. Belt and shoe should be same color. Avoid ties with elaborate pattern or too many colors. So they used one or two colors. A wedding ring or a watch is generally the only jewelry that should be on. Then they wear only a wedding rings or a watches. It's a normal one. Head to toe. Hair should be well groomed and shoe should be polished. So hair is also well groomed and shoe is also polished. Then this is an example. So we have to focus about the first picture. This is a good for interviewing, and the second one is we don't do that. That is an example of that picture. Then if you take in a women, we have to make first one is limit jewelry to 3 pieces: earrings, watch, ring, necklace, bracelet. These kinds are used. Hairs are simple and conservative, and dress scripts. Dress shirts crispy ironed. It's a cotton, like a cotton dress, and bottom solid color. It's be used in a mild color dresses, and accessories like a moderate size of handbags and purses, whatever it is. So these kinds are used in every professional women's in interview. This is another picture. We have to focus about the do's and don'ts of the interviewing actor. So first picture is explain the do's. This is the correct one. Don'ts. We don't use that kind of unwanted dresses. That is a don'ts. Then starting the interview. How to start the interview? Be sure to arrive 10 to 15 minutes prior to the start of the interview. So before attending an interview, you have 10 to 11 o'clock, I think it's a correct time. So before attending an interview means 10 or 15 minutes before you have to stay in that place. Greet the interviewer with a firm handshake, and then we give the handshake is to provide the body language and what you are. It explains easily. Maintain good eye contact and posture. Make sure you are energetic and enthusiastic. So eye contact and posture also explain what you are. Then speak clearly and articulately. So don't fear about anything. What you have to think, and in that situations You have to open your mouth and speak clearly and articulately. Then standard interview questions. Mostly they asked some standard questions. Would you tell me about yourself? What is your greatest strength? What is your greatest weakness? So first of all, easily we have to explain, I am this, I am coming from my mother, my father and my brother, I am a good background. So these kinds of answers are we easily provide. They ask the second, what is your greatest strength? I am a good person. This is my strength. What is your weakness? I am an emotional person. So you don't give your weakness. That is the important one. Where do you see yourself in 5 years? What about this question do you find most appealing? Why do you want to work for our company? Why should we hire you? So these kinds of questions are standardly they ask repeatedly in every company. So we must focus these questions. Then the 5 most important factor interviewers consider when hiring. So they give marks for your interview. First one is your experience. I have a 10 years experience in this field. So they give 36% of marks. And second, first impressions of the candidates. So first impressions already we know about that. So definitely they give the 24% and education they give 12% and professional qualification 10% and references also 9%. So these kinds of reflect the factors of the interviews. Then ask questions. What are your expectations of the employees in your company? What are the strength and weakness of your organization? Describe a typical day on the job in this question. Avoid asking question about salary and benefits. So first of all, we ask what's the expectations you have to meet from the employees. This is the first one we ask to the higher persons. And second one, what's your weakness and strength of your company, and then only I'm working in your organizations because before joining my job I have to know about that and then only I move to the best. So that's why we ask describe a typical day of the job in the position and today what the positions you have we need. So that's the questions also asked. And then first of all we must avoid the salary to ask questions about that salary. So this is the questions for the candidates. After the interview, so evaluate your performance. Send a thank note within 24 hours. Keep records and important dates and detail of the follow up. This is after the interview we must evaluate. Thank you.